Are you ready for a self-referential extravaganza? I promise it will lead to a video, but just bear with me. So as I sit here snacking on my homemade sourdough bread, here is my starter. It looks pretty gross, but it makes some amazing things. And I use my honey that I harvested from my bees in the backyard, and I'm wearing a shirt that I made. The last step in this would be having enough land to be able to have cows so I could make my own butter, but we're not quite there yet. I have been working like an absolute dog for about the past year, trying to get this YouTube channel off the ground while working a full-time job, pursuing things that interest me deeply that I've always put off because of my full-time job. Last year I decided, you know what, it's either now or never. I don't know how I'm gonna make space for it, and I feel it. I'm very tired all the time, but it's so worth it to be able to have things that I've made, to be able to kind of create the life and design the life that I have always wanted. So what I'm going to be working on today is creating an entire costume inspired by Peter Pan's Lost Boys. I'm going to be doing a photo shoot in Pennsylvania with a very talented photographer and a couple other people who are just like me signing up for the photo shoot. I don't know any of them. I'm kind of going into it blind. I did this once before back in February. I really enjoyed it. So I need to get started because I have a lot of things to do in a very little amount of time. Let's go over what I have accomplished so far. I'm not sure if this staff is going to be part of the photo shoot. It's going to really kind of depend on what the overall outfit looks like when it's all completed. This has kind of more of a like druid witchy vibe to me, but it may very well fit into a forest Lost Boys aesthetic. I'm not positive, but this is definitely a contender, and I'll just bring it to the photo shoot with me to see what everyone else is wearing and how well it will match the aesthetic of the entire group. The second thing I have is this hat. Now I wish I could say I made this. I definitely do not have this skill set. This is a felted hat. I'm not sure what the underside is. It also looks like some kind of wool, and I will link where I purchased it below because it is just so darn cute, and definitely want to work this in to my outfit somehow for the photo shoot. It screams forest dweller to me. Now next on the list are these feather earrings that I've made. I'm just kind of throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this project, and I will also make decisions like this at the actual photo shoot depending on the group aesthetic. Now we have this bodice that I made. This was actually my first YouTube video that I ever made. It's still up. I've never taken down a video despite being embarrassed about several of them. So it has a little bit of nostalgia for me. And I want to recreate this bodice for the shoot using fabric that I just dyed in my last video. So this is really thick white linen, and I used elderberries that I grew in my backyard to dye it. And I want to go ahead and create a bodice out of this and just really kind of dirty it up, make it seem completely lived in, maybe throw some exaggerated patches and stitching on there, just, you know, so it seems like a kid put it together and that it's been lived in and not washed for many years. And lastly, I am going to be creating a pair of kind of shredded bloomers. I'm going to use this similar pantaloons pattern that I made in, I think, my Little Women pajamas video. So I'm hoping that when everything is put together, it will all kind of have a cohesive chaos. I'm not really sure, but that's the intention. I want it to seem like I'm wearing handmade garments, rough-made garments, hand-me-down garments, things that have been just never washed and worn to death, and you're still wearing them. And I actually found this in my fabric stash. It's the lining to the bodice that I'm going to be making. So at some point I had accidentally made this, not used it. Now it saves me a step, and this will be the lining to the bodice, and that's the first thing I'm going to start. So let's jump in. Yesterday I got most of the bodice pieces cut out, except for the loops basically. I'm gonna do those separately and last. I don't feel like concerning myself with them right now. The process is a little bit tedious, but I'm gonna throw together the basic shape of the bodice right now, and I'll check in with you soon. We'll do like a little fit check. Okay, I have the front of the bodice sewn together, both sides. I don't want to lay it over the mic, but you get the idea. Now the pattern does not call for loops in the front, so I'm going to shorten it a little bit and put loops on either side, about 6. So you'll actually see the lacing go through the loops and a little bit of skin in between, or the shirt underneath, depending on how I end up styling it. And then there's also going to be loops in the back, which the pattern does call for. That's actually what gave me the inspiration to put them in the front too. I cannot be bothered with hand stitching holes, like grommet holes, for lacing. I just don't feel like it. So we're going to go with loops, and I'm going to get down to making those. The process is kind of simple. It just takes a little while. So I'm going to use some scrap fabric that I have laying around and make some loops, and I will touch base with you soon. I feel pretty good about what has been happening. Actually, it all came from feeling pretty bad. I made the vest, or the bodice, and it wasn't fitting right, so I decided I'm gonna wear it open. The photo shoot is in just a few days at this point. Once I decided I was gonna be wearing the vest open, I had to create a shirt to go under it. I actually tried on a couple shirts that I own that I would not kind of like ruin, make dirty, rip holes, and it just wasn't working. I was feeling really discouraged and kind of upset, and also panicked just because there is a time crunch with this, and I decided, worst case scenario, I just don't go to the photo shoot and it's fine. And then I kind of chilled out and regrouped, and I thought, I'm gonna just make a shirt quickly and see what happens. And I measured nothing, I prepared for nothing, and I just cut out a shape of a shirt like this on some leftover fabric scraps that I had, and sewed the shoulder seams and the side seams, threw it in the wash and dryer, and I came up with this lovely top. I'm actually obsessed with this top. I'm gonna wear it just cause as a regular top. I think it's really cool. And then I went ahead and made the pants. Let me see if standing up on this chair, if you can see them. It's similar to the shirt pattern where, you know, I just used the pantaloon pattern that I had. I ripped the legs off to make them short. I cut around the fabric up top to give it a very frayed edge. I threw it in the washer and the dryer, and voila, I have the outfit that I'm gonna be wearing, and the vest is gonna go over it. Now, all I have to do is add some patches to the vest and kind of dirty it up and scruffy it up, and I'm gonna use some sandpaper and maybe shred it with a razor, and then probably wash and dry this and get a little bit of that frayed effect. And we have the outfit. So I'm gonna work on making the vest look like shit, and then I'm gonna do the reveal, and I'm really excited. I hope all the elements pull together and create a cohesive Lost Boys outfit. I am pleasantly surprised with the outcome of this project. I don't really dedicate a lot of time to making costumes, and I actually allowed myself to do that, which is why I'm probably pleasantly surprised. Usually I make things that only kind of have a practical application in my life, meaning I don't sew costumes. I sew things that might look like costumes to you, but to me I would consider wearing it on an everyday basis. Whereas with this particular project, I'm not necessarily going to do that with the vest. It's a bit exaggerated. I probably wouldn't do that with the bloomers, although I do think that they're super cute. However, I am obsessed with that little shredded tank that I made, and I am going to wear the hell out of that. I don't know why I like it so much. I think because it literally just took me 60 seconds to create, and the outcome I thought was kind of flattering, cute, unique, fun, spunky, all the stuff that I really like in a garment. I am gonna have that in heavy rotation in my regular everyday attire, but overall just so happy with everything, and I'm really excited to go to the photo shoot. I will post pictures of that on Instagram as soon as I have them, but yeah, I'm just excited to meet other people, see the costumes that they've created, and go have fun this weekend. So here we are at the end of another project, and if you've enjoyed the video, if you could like and subscribe, it means the world to me. I promise it does. I am really trying to be able to focus on this channel and make it less of a hobby, more of a career, and your support is absolutely crucial for that. And as always, I love, love, love to hear from you all. So if you have any feedback, if you just want to say hi, anything at all, please post below, and I promise to get back to you. You know I always do. And until next time, I will see you soon. Bye.